fucking characters stuck on back here. I hate this zone so much. I'm still so happy with our grinding last night and Lorian's song stuff. That was actually a lot of fun. We all made it out of the tunnels. There we go. So yeah, Vexar should be a really good spot for us, all the way up to 60. Here, let me do this. You need movement speed. Movement. Spirit of Eagle. There we go. We're running so slow. Ah, much better. Ah, somebody's already selling the 121 to 125 rank 2 Lorien song spells. Got some grinders out there. I really hope they end up doing something about inventory space with personas pretty soon. They got to do something to figure that out. Hey, what's up, Pixel? We are desperately going to need some more inventory space by the time we get like 5 or 6 characters created. any problem for you, really. Worth trying every chance you get. Yeah, honestly, with that extra loot, all that loot is like a drastic upgrade for my alts as well, so... Hey, we're here. We made it. Let's turn our sound just down a little bit here. Oh, shit. So my mercenary has my level 120 thorns on. Tell me that's not a glitch. Yeah, okay. What's his HP at this time? Let's see here. This one, 42,000. This is so fucking funny. The random glitches with mercenaries at this level range. This is really something. I've also got a fellowship campfire down here. Ominous, so if you just... Oh, I was gonna say, if you needed to teleport over, you're welcome to. The shaman dinged 110 this morning. Nice. 42. Well, they was right yesterday. You deaf cannot read numbers. Oh, whatever. Close enough. Close enough. We've been over this. I don't need to read. I just need to be pretty. Careful, just because I'm mumble doesn't mean I can't time out. I got my protector here. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I guess as long as my mercenary keeps his badass damage shield, we'll be okay. That's not broken at all. Who needs to power level now? $33 does not equal 42. It does in my book. It equals close enough. It means close enough. Well, Ominous, I guess we're gonna get power leveled this morning. Oh. The named. Yeah, I think Elemental got drunk and passed out on us. He took his timeouts to heart. He was insulted by all the rod talk, yeah. Whenever I watch you, you're usually getting 2+ EXP per kill. Do you have any modifiers or something? My 3 box is constantly getting 0.3 to 0.6 per kill. Factious, are you using 3 characters, 3 mercenaries? Because that's usually the big problem. I think I passed out on my my friends. Factious, if you're using 3 characters and 3 mercenaries, that's why you're probably getting a whole lot less EXP. Because mercenaries take a lot of EXP from you. And I typically only use 1, if any. Yeah, the 3 mercenaries. Mercenaries take EXP from the group, and they don't give any benefit like real characters do. Guess it's melee day. I think that once we get to the higher level stuff, it should be a little bit better here in a second, Ominous. But yeah, mercenaries take EXP like a live person, but they give no benefit like a live person. That's the drawback to using mercenaries. So for like every mercenary that you have in the group, you lose an extra 30% EXP or so. That's typically the problem with mercenaries. That's the drawback, is you get no extra benefit for using them like a live person. Try dropping 1 or 2 of them. If I drop 2, I might not have enough DPS. Yeah, that's unfortunately the drawback. And you also have to make sure that you're leveling in hot zones, because that's usually what I'm doing. Is I'm hopping from like hot zone to hot zone, and that's what makes the big difference. 28, almost 6R level. Yeah. Almost. Here, I'm gonna run my other characters over here real quick, Ominous. While we're making our way through. If you want to keep making your way forward and killing, you can. So when did Wood Elves become able to become Beast Lords anyways? It was quite a bit later into the game cycle that they made that. Like substantially later in the game cycle. I want to say it was after, it was a vote they put up in like 2010 or 2011. Because like there was a vote between like Froglock Beast Lords, I think, and Wood Elf Beast Lords, maybe, or maybe it was like XR. I think XR Rogues could have been one of the votes as well, which I still think is a travesty. The fact that that never happened, that should be one of the main things. I've almost got my second character here. Just a second. I think one of the most interesting ones would have been Gnome. Like Gnome Beast Lord, I think would have been really cool. Yeah, XR Rogue would have been my bet, yeah. Ooh. Look at this fucking warrior-only weapon. Damn it. 25 ratio. Oh, Dagger of Perpetual. Oh, dude, I need this. 423 damage. Oh, man. Crash for some reason, logging back in. Okay. Hey, what's up, Elsewhere? We are in Vexar on our rogues right now. And my beast lord, my mercenary, for some reason, has my level 120 damage shield on because persona glitches. So everything's exploding against a 6500 damage shield right now. I really need this dagger. V being OP as fuck, yeah. Yeah, I'm on my beast lord now. I really want this rogue dagger though. I wonder how much he wants for it. I'm gonna wait for the price to drop though. Because I don't need it right now. I'm gonna hold my horses and not spend a pretty penny on something I can't use right now. Oh, we're gonna be in Vexar for a while probably. Because it's a level 60 hot zone, so I think we could make our way up through 60 here. Won't bet on you buying that dagger. Listen, I would never make you waste your 10 precious points on whether or not I'm going to buy something. Never. No. Or stuff can just explode again. That's fine. Here. Let me get you some crack and some haste here. Can I get to you from zone in, or are there mobs between us? You should be able to get to me now. We cleared the way really quick. There weren't any respawns here. But you should be good to get to me now. And feel absolutely welcome to join if you want. And if need be elsewhere, whenever you're in zone, I can invite you through to the fellowship and just have you teleport over. We're just 52, 53, I think, right now. Yeah, 50, 52, 53. I love personas and how broken they are right now. They said you can't have buffs go from one persona to another, but they never said anything about mercenary buffs. Yeah, we're going to be really solid here. I'm still getting like 4 point some odd percent per kill, and we're not even fighting high level stuff yet. Logging in at 57. Okay. Give us a couple minutes, we'll be 57. Let me see here. Destroy camp. Create camp. There we go. Whenever we get another person here, I could probably just put away the mercenary anyways. That way these guys, last more than 30 seconds. I'm in a fellowship, but can drop it to join yours for today. Okay. Just let me know whenever you're here and I'll send you an invite. Why would you do that? Just because I'm okay with the quick power level doesn't mean that these guys are. Some people want to enjoy the process. Invite elsewhere. Oh, elsewhere. Rip the pet, rip. And one thing I was thinking, now I guess whenever you hit level 80, you can get level 125 buffs, which is going to help leveling a lot. They're like normally the really slow dead period. Because beforehand, leveling from 80 to 90 was kind of a frustrating experience. But if you get like 125 buffs now, it should almost trivialize it. From 120, it is like 6,800. The 125 is 8,000. 80, I think it's 8,600 or something like that. It's like an extra 2 or 3,000 damage, not including the wild thorns, which goes up to like 240,000. It's still pretty substantial. But it's quite a bit, yeah. No, how am I trying to cast that? Oh, yeah, no. See, that's just for melee characters, though. Casters didn't get really that kind of an upgrade difference, so... Yeah, it was just the melee people that got that extra massive upgrade. Because melees were complaining that they couldn't keep up with caster DPS and raids. Because the top DPS parses were casters for the longest time, like Necros especially. Yeah, it was to bring them on par with caster DPS, supposedly, which I haven't seen any DPS parses in top raids, so I don't know how true that statement is now. I just know it was a big problem. Guess we can go up now. Oh, here we go. We got some over here. Make our way over to the big high-level undead area. There we go. I think I've got some better spells now, too. If you want to keep pulling, Ominous, yeah, it's up to you. Pet. There we go. We got a better pet now, too. What's wrong with my spellbook? It's perfect. My spellbook is absolutely perfect, thank you. It's horrific. It is absolutely fantastic. It works just fine, thank you. It's like when I saw my 100 heroic druid, I wanted to slash wrist. It is totally fine. Here we go. Let's pull over here. I'm gonna assume Elemental organizes his, yeah. Gross. Jump from a level 20 slow to a level 50 slow. Okay, here. Let me invite you to the fellowship elsewhere. Let me know whenever you're out of your other one. Yeah, if you want to teleport over, you should be good. Assuming it lets you. Hey, there you are. We're gonna move up here. Okay, naturally, both of them get stuck. I love follow in this game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to deal with loot here, let me make you your master looter. Follow. Follow. Okay. We'll go further in and we'll drop our... Want me to loot everything? Yeah. Yes. Yes, please. Someone has to. I don't... I know how to loot my way. Oh my god, look at those fizzles. I know how to loot my way. Also, I have my level 65 minion of Discord enhanced pet thing ready. I am ready to go. Ooh, what are you guys doing over here? I don't know what the hell is going on, but I just got passed by a caravan of like 20 supercars. Ooh, rich people. I love rich people. Also elsewhere, I love the color combination here. Gold and green. Nice. Not even nice out here. It's raining. Did we go the wrong way? I think we went the wrong way. Oh, here we go. Till you get your 59 Defiant. Gotcha. Just got a little posse of rich people out and about there, Pixel. We'll just pull a little bit of everything here. Come on down. I don't think I've ever been in Vexar that far. This is like one of my favorite spots to go because literally the enemies towards the end will get up to like 62 or 63, I think. It's a really good spot. Lots and lots of high level enemies. There's even like those little Kunark hands and stuff like that. Dream spot for Paladin 59 plus, yeah. Lots and lots of undeads towards the high level area down here. I just like the old school touch with the animated hands. Players, fellowship. Go. Now I can let these guys stop following me around and we'll be good. No, the old school unrest hands were quite a bit more massive. These are just like like I said, a little nod to it. Let's go back through this way. Forgot the higher level stuff is this way. See, these guys aren't dying in just a single hit to the damage shield. That it takes a couple. This is how I know it's also broken. My mercenary is randomly getting extra AAs to spend, like 16 at a time. I really don't get what's happening with the EXP. But hey, in just a couple more levels, we can actually go to either Bastion of Thunder or Plane of Tactics. I think one of those two is the hot zone. I'm pretty sure it's BOT actually, since the update. So we can go kill some giants. Oh, there's somebody killing right there. Somebody killing right there. After... Okay, so it is BOT. So I don't want to take their mobs. Let's just go back this way. I think there's stuff through here. Yeah, here we go. So once we're all 57, we can just go to BOT instead. Which, honestly, at this rate is really not going to take long. Am I missing something here? Not that way. Maybe upstairs? Where is everything? Oh, here we go. Let me shrink this big-ass dude real quick. There we go. Oh, Grat's on 60, dude. How close to 57 are you, Ominous? %? Okay. Yeah, because we're going to run out of stuff here pretty quick. For some unknown reason. If that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and teleport my druid and my enchanter out then. No reason to have these dudes even just sitting here waiting. Nothing. Here we go. I still got about 50%. City of Mist this morning? No, this is Vexar. But close. Kind of similar area. Yeah, Vexar is the level 60 hot zone tunnel. So it's normally really good EXP for us here. Is there anything even over there? Nothing. Okay. We're unfortunately competing with like another group trying to find enemies to kill here, so we're running out of stuff to kill pretty quick. Downstairs, down here. So we're just trying to make it to 57 so we can go to Bastion of Thunder. I was super happy when they put it in too. Honestly, the fact that it was a zone that was always rumored down there, because if I remember correctly, the building was down there like it was a zone line for the longest time. But they just never added it with Kunark for some reason. So when they added it with, I think, Gates of Discord, it was really, really cool. It was a cool little, like, extra expansion zone. To have such a high-level zone underneath Lake of Il-Omen. And Lake of Il-Omen used to be, like, one of my favorite zones to level in back in the day. So it was really cool having, like, a mystery zone down there. From launch, the exterior building was there, yeah. So it was always really cool, all the rumors and stuff that people had. Zone Line and Jagged Pine. I think that's been rumored for a really long time, because remember how Jagged Pine was added later into the game anyways? So many extra things that they could do. And honestly, stuff like that just makes me so happy. It's so cool whenever they're like, yeah, here's this little thing that's been there forever. At 57, I'm going to get out and grab more spells and stuff. Meet you and be... Okay. Sounds good, Ominous. Yeah, I'll try to get to 57. I guess I could pop Lesson and just run straight to Bastion of Thunder. Yeah, cool little secrets and stuff like that that they add into the game I've always thought was really, really, really cool. Can we go up? Yeah, we can go up. Oh, just one enemy up here. Okay, so let's see if these guys, they're still in here. Okay, let's see. Man, this sucks that we're basically just out of enemies over here. We might have to run backwards a little bit elsewhere. Because I'm literally just like probably 10 kills away from leveling. Jump fence and start back at the ramp. I guess I could. Let's just do that. Here, we're going to jump the fence right here. And start back at the entrance and kill just a little bit that way. Oh, the other fence? Which other fence? Is it right here? Stonefront Mountains has a tunnel on the other east wall that could have been a zone point to something but never added. Oh, okay. I got you, man. I got you. I'm glad you said that, because that other area, those would have all been like light blues and greens. .9. Yeah, we'll get it really quick right here. Here, let me just pull all these dudes. Let's make it nice and easy. We'll get it quick. Go, go, Gadget Mercenary. Okay, this should be... Yeah, these four right here should get me the EXP. Boom, 57. Okay. Elsewhere, do you have a teleport out? I guess you got Throne of Heroes in Origin, just in case. Okay, good. Thank you, thank you. Now we're on the way to good EXP. I think y'all said elsewhere you said it was BOT, right? Not tactics. Should be. We'll pick up Basket Teak just to make sure. Gotcha. I mean, I guess it's not a huge deal if it's not going to be game breaking if we don't get the hot zone EXP. You know what I mean? Won't let me. I'm only 60 and task is 65. Oh, that's right. That's oh well. That's okay. No big deal. I would be really happy with more gate potions, Pixel, if you don't mind. Hey, what's up, Cody? Dude, how's Final Fantasy 14 coming along? You said you hit 65? Just doing the main quest. Very nice, very nice. Just zooming. I'll roll out another 2,000. Oh, dude. I was gonna say I'm happy with 20. Mind if I grab 3 to 5? What do you mean 3 to 5 what? Oh, gate potions? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, Pixel's super generous. I'm sure he'll give basically however many you need, man. And the campfire should be... What do you mean I don't have enough people nearby? What? Why is he not in the fellowship? That's weird. Okay, there we go. We're good. I'm glad you're zooming along, dude. I can't wait to do some of those dungeons with you. There's one called Bardlam's Medal, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. It's a really fun dungeon. Once you get that unlocked, let me know, and I want to run through that one with you. It's actually one of the most like unique dungeons they did during that expansion. No stacks. Yeah, he's gonna hook you up with more than 3 to 5. What level can you start equipping your mercs with items? 75 tunnel. Stormblood, I just have Siren's song unlocked. Well, your next one you're gonna get is the 63. It's every 2 levels. So just pounding through that quest, you're gonna get another one pretty soon. Yeah, campfire's down. Yeah, like the 61 is pretty fun, really fun. 63, I really like the environment, and 65 is really unique. Really hard for healers though. He'll pump out like 2,000 in an hour. I guess it's just because Bastion of Thunder, for some reason, no matter where I put the campfire down, it's always giving me that error. So I was hoping it was going to be different this time, and maybe it was just glitched, but sorry elsewhere. We're just at the entrance area of the Earth Tunnel, Earth Place anyways. What are they going for? I think last time I checked, major trans. Let's see here. Last time, they're like 200, like 140 to 200 platinum per. Pretty, for the most part, I would say around 175. So Cody, you said you're really happy with that the shader pack. I was really, really happy when I was using it. I found that it used quite a bit more PC power, which was really interesting, but it made those colors pop a whole lot more. To be a total dick, put 2,000 in the bazaar for like 50 platinum per. You could. That guy Stupefy, I buy potions and dyes from all the time. So he's definitely one of the more consistent bizarre people. Popping lesson? Okay. Makes it look way better with the new colors in the monitor. Yep. Also nice mount, ominous. I'm gonna pop lesson as well. I'm gonna do a pretty big pull here. I'm sure you guys won't mind. I'm gonna try to pull quite a bit here and get us some extra EXP. No, my pet. That dick. Whatever. We're gonna summon a better pet soon anyways. I'm gonna do a couple big pulls while we got lesson going. Try to get us in our 60s. Did you just ding already? Yeah. I just pulled like 7 or 8 enemies after popping lesson. And I'm gonna pull probably 15 or 20 here. Yeah, it's the hot zone as well, on top of us popping lesson and having kind of a ridiculous damage shield here. Ooh, we got a named as well. But if we've got lesson going anyways, we might as well. Mm. You gotta love the back-to-back complete heals. I'm just gonna let him complete heal himself out since we're not gonna beat it anyways. There we go. Level 60 pet now, too. Just memorizing a couple extra spells real quick and I'll be good to go. Yeah. And we got a doggy named here. What type of tune? This is a Beast Lord. Which didn't look like it because I clearly didn't have a pet out at the time. Thanks to one of those stupid pools, my pet exploded. No, my pet again. Jesus Christ. He keeps just attacking random things. I can't wait to have, like, the pet AA at 65. Yeah, I think it's a really neat class. I've always had a lot of fun playing Beast Lord. They become really, really unique in higher levels. They get actual, like, spells and abilities that do direct melee damage. It's really strange, but they're a lot of fun. Like, they have spells that they cast that do direct melee damage. My favorite place to level. I was here for quite a while on my beast. Yep. I love leveling in Bastion of Thunder, dude. Doesn't matter if it's TLP, anything like that. Hey, what's up, Tuma? Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's TLP. I always love leveling in this zone. Only enemy I avoided is the big guy in the middle. I can't quite solo him. Oh, like the Earth Pad named? The guy that we just beat up? All the Earth Pad names were pretty difficult, because they could all heal and they could all gate. So it did make it a little bit more difficult. The raid boss dude? Oh. Fizzle, 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 fizzle. Some of the names takes a while to kill, but perfectly doable. Yeah, I'm kind of curious who you mean, Power Walk, because I mean, I guess there's 4 raid bosses, and then there's, okay, Cody. There's 4 raid bosses, and then there's Agnar, which is the actual, like, raid boss of the expansion. You mean, like, the tower bosses? Probably tower boss, yeah, gotcha. Because I know that there's the 4 different elemental tower bosses. There's 4 pad bosses, which are group bosses, 4 tower bosses, which are raid bosses, and then there's Agnar. Mario movie was awesome. I hope they make more. I thought it was really good too. It was a really cool spin on the whole Mario thing. If alteration skill allows, can I grab so please? Yes. That's actually like the one skill that I have no issue with. Because slow is alteration, and I've been using that pretty much the entire time. Oh yeah, there's always the boot clicky. Took a little from the original Super Mario movie with the Brooklyn part and stuff, just to animate it and made it better. Yeah. God, that movie back in the day was horrible, but it was so good. A 61 seems to be Saru's common drop, yeah. Such a cult classic at this point. I watched it a few times per year, yeah. There's some cult classic movies that I like watching. Let's go through the iced area now. Yeah, there are some cult classic movies. Like, for me, it's kind of a cult classic. I don't know what other people think about it, but the Scream movies. I know a lot of people really dislike them, but they're honestly some of my favorite. Never seen someone level so fast in this game. What are you talking about? That was after our damage shield wore off, too. Tunnel. The big fancy damage shield that's been power leveling us wore off. I don't watch horror movies, but I guess Scream is watchable. It's not really horror. Yeah. I'm a horror movie nerd, though. Still impressive, yeah. It'll slow down, because Lesson is going to wear off pretty soon, and that's our double EXP. Incantation. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever actually watched it. No. I fucking loved The Ring. That's another one that like terrified me as a kid. Honestly, one of the best horror movies I've seen in a really long time was Sinister. Not a horror fan, but I did enjoy The Pope's Exorcist. That's another really good one. Yeah, The Ring was pretty scary. But yeah, honestly, Sinister. I think I saw that when it was like 2010 or something like that. One of my favorite scary movies of a long time. I'm prone to night terrors and nightmares due to PTSD, so I avoid. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. When do I get Mastery of the Past? Jesus. I don't enjoy the movies that are gore just for the sake of gore, like Saw. No, I don't like gore horror. Like Hostel, Saw, stuff like that. I don't think those are horror movies. I think those are just, that's just blood porn at that point. I know a lot of people who would get upset about me saying that, but it's honestly just 100% blood porn. I'm not into it. Gore porn, yeah. Not into it at all. Mastery of the Past we get at 62. Okay. Yeah, I don't like gore porn. I like scary. I like thriller. Horror for me, I think of as uh, like actual intense, scary moments. There's plenty of gore porn movies out there. Honestly, a lot of indie movies do horror better than any other genres these days. Any other creators of horror these days, just because they don't have a high budget, so they can't really do a lot of gore. The perfect example that comes to mind is like Terrifier and Terrifier 2. They're just gory for the sake of being gory, and the Evil Dead movies. We're gonna get our damn spellcasting abilities up, I swear. Army of Darkness was hilarious. Yeah. Dude, look at the attack animation on this mount. Shop smart. Shop S smart. Good old Bizarre. Oh, my pet died again. Classic. Hey, what's up, Big Soap? How you doing? Bruce Campbell was perfect for the role of Ash. Yeah, I love him as an actor. Do you want your weapon ratio to be high or low? You want it to be high. The higher the weapon ratio, the better the weapon is. That's the number of the times yeah, basically just the easy way to put it is higher damage, lower delay, better. He's deliberately campy and over the top in most of his roles and doesn't shy from it. Yeah. Chillin', working on my 4-box, getting close to 90. Dude, nice. Hell yeah. I didn't stream it this morning, but I took my group through killing some in Lorien's Song. My 120 mage pet and my enchanter and my rogue has like no problem doing a lot of the content. When did boxing become a thing? Like, when did it become the main thing, or when did it just become a thing that people casually started doing? No, we never beat Lich, Sebicas. We gave up because too many of our characters weren't high enough geared, and a lot of us didn't have any of the high-level skills. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Like, so I'm gonna start working on my actual like group myself for Lorien's Song. My next goal is to be able to stream and show you guys that I can like solo the first mission of Lorien's Song, and by solo I mean like group box solo. Bought my Ranger Lorien's Song bow too. Haven't tested it yet. That's good rate 8 ratio higher now. Jesus. Yeah, what Ominous said, I'm pretty sure it was really early on. So we're talking like 2001. Really, really early on. Yeah, 2001, pretty early on. Was going to play the new PoE season, but they nerfed Righteous Fire, so sad. I never really got too far into Path of Exile. There's way too much. We got it named up too. Path of Exile seems like it would be a lot of fun, but it's just way too deep for me. I'm not big enough brain to min max in PoE. It's not really nerfed, just different. Yeah. Yeah, it's above my brain level, I think. Yeah, boxing became super regular. I want to say in like 2007, 2008. It was done, of course, before then, but I think it became most common in like 2006, 2007 is when I remember a lot of people started doing it. From my understanding, it was probably before that. Takes a lot to learn, but I have fun with it. It looks really fun because it's like Diablo, but on crack, so... I'm gonna med for a second, since this guy's gonna be complete healing and stuff anyways. I'm done with PoE until PoE 2. Old game with too much bloat now. What's your plan for Personas now? What level are you getting before you plateau? So that's another reason why I'm playing around with it now, is because I really want to actually see how far we can get with it before I get either bored or frustrated with it. What's a Persona? What did I miss? So here, let me show you. You can level the same character but as different classes over and over again now. So you have different persona slots. Let me just finish buffing these guys real quick, and I'll show you. So you have different persona slots now. Remember your Shroud tab that you used to have on inventory? So it's like the FF14 job system, exactly. So like this is my rogue that's 125, but right now I'm leveling him as a beast lord. Like what I might do is make a geared level 100 SK that I used to power level from 70 to 90 bracket. Soap, it's honestly not a bad idea. I mean, I have a druid that I use for that for the most part, because now at level 80 you should be able to get level 125 buffs. So that's what I'm going to use to kind of level through that range a little bit. Because beforehand it always slows down for me so much around the point that I hit level 80. Number one, because I hate the zones. I really dislike the zones from like 80 to 90. Or sorry, well, I'll say 80 to 85. I really dislike the zones. I was thinking of using 100 heroic on my ranger to get over that hump. Yeah. Have you heard about this new game where you play a plumber that's running up levels to save a captured princess? Oh my god. No, I've never heard of it, Tunnel. What is it? Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, it's Sanic. It's Sanic for sure. Power Walk, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people out there who I feel like are informative streamers. There are a lot of streamers, I think, that play games and typically just play it but give no beneficial information to people who are watching. Of course, I mean, if that's a stream that people aren't asking questions and they don't really need help, then that's a different story. But unfortunately, there are a lot of streamers you can watch that you can ask questions to, and they're just never going to respond to you. I find that happens a lot on Dead by Daylight streams for me, which I really enjoy Dead by Daylight. It's one of my favorite games. And I would love to stream it if I knew more about the game. But I'm still very much like a casual at that. That's why VS made coming back to life so much easier. Well, I'm glad I've been able to help with that. There are a lot of people, like I said, who won't give you the time of day, period. Which is super frustrating. Used to play DVD, but I got bored with it after a bit. I love Dead by Daylight. I would love to play that, 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I play 7 Days to Die a lot more than I should. In fact, one of the games that I'm like most hyped about is a game. It's like a single player Dead by Daylight feature that's coming out pretty soon. There are a lot of PoE creators that make build videos, but the game is so old now they sort of just make them for veterans. Us scrubs don't understand shit. That's my thing. That's what I was talking about. Like, there's so much about that game I just don't fucking understand. I feel like it requires a 10-year degree in certain like in PoE knowledge to understand what to do. Which I guess is kind of a problem some people have with EverQuest right now anyways. So that's something we're not too unfamiliar with. Hey, 62, let's go. EQ is easy to get into, but hard to get past the 60-100 range, especially for a free account. Yeah, that's also just because the nature of the beast with EverQuest. That's how they built the game. They want it particularly to be hard, so people pay to play. I swing the Nerf bat on my own head every day. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the solo self-found stuff. And the aspect of playing it, watching it's cool. Oh yeah, Big Soap, they're going to be way more efficient with the auto grant AAs. Especially now that you can auto grant up to 115, it's going to help you with so much more. Very confusing, but I don't like having to deal with people not responding to my wanna buy tells. Getting about 85 is my free-to-play limit, personally. Yeah. Who remembers the days of no POK subway and cross-continent corpse runs because you forgot where you were bound and when you thought you'd kill something one level above you? Yeah. Good old corpse run days. Or finding an item that's cheap and asking to buy it and then relist it for twice the price over and over. I'm trying to think. I don't feel like I ever actually lost that many items on EverQuest. At least important times. I'm sure I lost some corpses back in the day. But I don't think I ever lost anything worth value. Because I don't want to say that I'm petty, but I'm kind of petty. If I lose something that I feel like is important to me, I'll probably just quit the game. Yep. Good old rezzing. I played Druid so I could teleport and get platinum from buffs and teleports and sow and thorns and all that good stuff. You want a res? That'll be 350. Give him my money. Had to go non. Oh, yeah. Otherwise, people constantly asking for a res. Yup. They saw that good old water sprinkler and they were like, yup. Would you look at that? We're not fizzling every single cast now on that spell. Why did you want to do Beast Lord as your first persona? I think it was mostly because I'd been wanting to level a Beast Lord alt for a while. And now with personas getting to use all my gear and my equipment, I wanted to see how powerful I could make a Beast Lord in lower levels. Because my issue with Beast Lords has always been that they're so weak in the first 65 levels. And I mean, it's a real thing. I know a lot of people will defend Beast Lords with their life, but Beast Lords are so gear dependent that they feel just so terribly weak in low levels. They're a lot like rogues in that case. If you don't really have good gear and you don't have a good equipment, like they're good because they're versatile, but they're just really weak by themselves. In groups, they could be pretty powerful because they're a really good support class in addition to having a pet and everything like that, but they really don't become personally very strong until they start getting double and triple attack and enhanced minion pets. They were very strong from the beginning before all the ward nerfs. Yeah, I mean, once after all the pet nerfs, it had me curious enough to log back into my ancient account after several years. My shaman's still 56. Thought she might age like fine wine. Nope. Love my shaman that I played back in 2002. Good old hill giants, man. I think I farmed something from Skeletons and Timorous Teat for my plat back in the day. Probably good platinum and gems. Root dot repeat. I miss soloing and quad kiting on my druid especially. There was the Rockhopper caves and Dawn Shroud Peaks that I would quad kite through a lot and try to get the flawless Rockhopper hides in high quality because they were used to make like the Acrylia sets. So it was awesome for both platinum earning and for EXP. And I think I've talked about it before, but one of my favorite things about Dawn Shroud Peaks is in those Rockhopper caves, if you go through and you kill like the giant Rockhopper at the end, it clears out the tunnels of Rockhoppers and they all change to the tribal enemies, and vice versa. If the tribal enemies are up and you run through and you kill the tribal dude at the end, it'll get rid of all the tribal people and it'll switch back to Rockhoppers. I thought it was such a cool mechanic for a zone. You could always get pissed off at people if they were going through and suddenly someone killed the big boss and switched it to the other team. It's like, damn it, I was farming those fucking Rockhopper hides. We got a named. Once I hit 65, I'm probably gonna go buy my spells. Incoming 2. Level my evocation by charging myself with level 1 nukes. That's a good way. Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. Being a cleric, I didn't farm shit on my own. Always in a group until Beast came around, I could run off and do solo things. Yeah. All the pets. Let's go. I would probably be doing a whole lot more damage here if I was using my 60 plus stuff. But since I'm kind of a dum-dum and I didn't grab any 60 plus stuff, we're kind of SOL right now. gonna say we really don't have that many AAs and stuff we can activate as a Beast Lord at this level, but I guess we have a few. I'm just happy to see people playing a 25-plus-year-old game. Yeah. I'm really surprised. I feel like EverQuest has made a pretty big resurgence in the last couple of years. Not just like on Twitch or anything like that, but in gameplay in general. I think that's why they've made such a focus on making the game better after all this time. There's been a lot of quality of life updates that people don't realize they've put in the game in just like the last 3 years alone. I agree, Tuma. I mean, I agree 100% wholeheartedly. There's just so many quality of life improvements that they brought to the game that are just absolutely insane in just the last couple of years. The Agents of Change stuff that they brought forward to the game, the alternate persona stuff that I know a lot of people shit all over. Since Daybreak took over, EverQuest 2 was even better. It was like, I don't know about that one, man. Let's refresh some of these buffs here. Haven't done this in quite a while. There we go. That should be a little bit better here. They kind of went the WoW route, which is kind of funny because WoW and EverQuest 2 dropped at pretty much the exact same time. So I don't really think that they could have known that they were going that route until it was too late. Because I want to say it was almost the exact same time that WoW came out, that EverQuest 2 also came out. That's an understatement, Tunnel. That's a complete understatement. So EverQuest 2 actually launched beforehand, so yeah, there's no way they could have known. I thought EverQuest 2 was phenomenal at launch. Don't get me wrong, guys, because think of what else we had at the time. We just had pretty much EverQuest at the time, and maybe Ragnarok Online. So I thought it was awesome. But if I can compare the two these days, I really dislike the combat system in EverQuest 2. And dislike is an understatement. I think it's horseshit. Star Wars Galaxy and Asheron's Call. Dark Age of Camelot. There's an old one. Yeah, there's some old school stuff, guys. October 9th, 2001. Yep. If there's another game that made a massive resurgence, it was old school RuneScape. Good old school RuneScape, man. There's no one remember FF. See, I never played FF11, so I can't vouch for that. Still have my OG Dark Age of Camelot account and haven't played it in years, though. There was another MMO that someone tried to turn me on to recently in chat. They were talking about Lord of the Rings online. Still have an active FF11 account. I liked Dark Age of Camelot. I just didn't want a PvP, really. Yeah. Which is funny, because you'd think with... I know I don't really talk about this very often, guys, but Final Fantasy series in general is pretty much still my favorite game series of all time. Whether we're talking MMOs, whether we're talking old school games, or anything like that. Like, I don't think I have any more games that I have more fond memories of than Final Fantasy. EverQuest is close, but I never played Final Fantasy 11. Wasn't released in Europe, so a lot of people missed it. Yeah. I have never played Final Fantasy 11, so I've got like no comment on that. Except perhaps the granddaddy of them all, Ultima Online, yeah. There's so many that I just can't really have any comment on because never saw them. Tabula Rasa? Nope, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Played on US servers with a friend after she moved from US to Sweden. Yeah, never heard of it, Tuma. Richard Garriott's game? I'm not sure elsewhere. Yeah, that name doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Sorry, I don't know if that's an age thing or what. I mean, I'm 34, so... I started playing EverQuest, I think, when I was 12. So I don't know what that means for age as far as y'all are concerned, but... Bane and Dark Age of Camelot. Started when I was 17, yeah. I just remember my buddy and my brother and his friends constantly talking about EverQuest, EverQuest, EverQuest. And then my brother convinced my mom to buy it for us one time. I still have, uh, I was going through and I have like some of my old game discs. One of my buddies in chat, you guys will see Pandy. He has, he gave me his original trilogy disc for EverQuest that he found recently when he was moving. Yeah, I before that, the only games I ever really played were Final Fantasy games and Zelda. Have all my EQ, EQ2, Dark Age of Camelot, and Star Wars Galaxy discs still. The oldest game disc I have aside from EverQuest, I think, these days, I have some old. I have the original Duke Nukem 500, and I also came across. I don't know if any of y'all ever played an MMO called Aeon from back in the day, but I found like my original, like, aluminum metal discs for Aeon too. I don't even have a CD-ROM on my disc. Yeah, Aeon was a lot of fun because the flying that you could do or the gliding. Got her called and asked if I can go pick her up. Be back in like an hour. Okay. All right, no problems. Ominous. I'm sure we'll still be going. Or I will. I don't know about elsewhere. FF14 Collector's Edition pre-Realm Reborn. Oh, yeah. I remember whenever my buddy Pandy in chat showed me Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 before a Realm Reborn, and I thought it looked pretty, but it looked so glitchy. Looked so glitchy. What kind of gear is that in your chest slot? It's the silver chains from Temple of Ishin. It's just an ornament on it. It was so bad at launch. It was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, you can attack while mounted. You just can't special attack, like backstab or kick. The reason I'm only using silver chains instead of the uh, ancient burrow hide I was using is because it's chain, and I wanted to use this ornament. Some ornaments require that they're either chain or leather or plate. In this case, it's leather, and I'm using all my chain ornaments from my main rogue class. For us that remember how bad it was, it's amazing how far it's come. Yeah. The fact that the whole Realm Reborn launch stuff worked so successfully for them is kind of insane. Because I don't know if you guys have played through a Realm Reborn since then. It's so slow compared to other games. I honestly really dislike going through the Realm Reborn content now because of how much better like Shadowbringers and Endwalker was. It's just so slow. So much of go talk to this person, go talk to this person. And that's with them cutting out a huge bulk of the quest line. They cut out like 150 quests from level 1 to level 1 to 50. Should be skippable. It honestly should be. Like, I get the introduction to the characters and the clans or whatever you want to call them and stuff like that, but it is just so god awful slow. It's one of those things, it's almost like introducing people to EverQuest these days and expecting them to play just strictly classic content from 1 to 50 until you keep telling them how much better it gets. It really is, Tuma. If you like want to get invested to the story, it can be very good, especially the class story arc, like the Dark Knight story arc. for Heaven's Word and on is so phenomenal. But getting through it, ugh. Just let people level in a new zone to 50, go back and do major plot things, and move on. I kept hoping that with the Endwalker storyline wrapping up soon, that they were going to basically just bundle up like the 1 to 60 storyline and let it skip, just let it be something that you basically start the game at level 60. Costs money, but you can skip it, yeah. But it doesn't necessarily level you up. If you buy a level boost these days, it boosts you to level 80. Yeah, they've redone like some of the encounters numerous times, and some of the dungeons, like Tamtara Deepcroft, like that dungeon's completely different now. It just makes me so excited for what we might get for the future of EverQuest, whether it's EverQuest 3 or whatever it was that was supposedly announced. I know they talked about it's like a TBD game that hasn't even started being worked on yet. But I would really like to see something like that done with the future of EverQuest. Maybe not this game in particular, but a future game in the franchise. I have heard her boost on a pre-existing character wipes out their items. Is there any truth? What do you... Wait. What are you talking about? Truth Tunnel? Epic level boost? What are we... Are we talking for EverQuest? Like, buying a character boost wipes out your items and everything? Oh, no. No. If you buy a character boost, it doesn't wipe out your items or anything. It basically turns your character into a level 85 or a level 100, and then it gives you a couple things that you claim that puts bags full of gear in your inventory. So, like, if I were to boost this character right now, all this gear and stuff would still be on me. I would just get a couple bags to claim with extra loot. And then I can start replacing those gear sets. No, it wouldn't get rid of all the items and stuff. Yeah, no, not at all. It's the most fun job in 14. Shame I don't like tanking and all that in that game. That's another one of my beefs with the game, is if I want to use a big-ass sword and be DPS, I should be able to do that. One of my only beefs with the game. If I want to be a sword and board DPS class, I should be able to do that. Yeah, Tuma, you won't lose anything. You'll literally just you'll have all your gear on, and you get claims. And, like, you'll get 2 big epic bags, like 40 slot bags full of gear and, like, food and bale marks and platinum. Yeah, you won't lose anything. Yeah, that's one of my beefs with the game, Power Walk. I was really hoping they were going to streamline it and let it be like, if you want to be a tank DPS class, you can. So if you heroic boost to Persona, do you get the extra bags and stuff too? Yes, Shifty. From my understanding, yes. So say if I heroic boosted this character to 100, I should have all the bags and everything available to me on this character. They would probably go to my overflow since I have full slots and stuff right now. See, more unique and not shoehorned into one role. Oh yeah, yeah. The reason that is, Tuma, is because a lot of MMOs these days have like dungeons and dungeon finders with specific roles. And if you like use a dungeon finder and you hop into a dungeon with uh three different melee classes, you know they're going to be the tank and the melee DPS. You have to have a cleric, you have to have a tank, you have to have a healer. The only game I played that wasn't like that was Neverwinter, which was fucking awesome. Another really good game that I loved playing. Guild Wars 2 does class as well, can be a tank class or yeah. Like Season of Discovery for World of Warcraft, I know they're getting into that now as well. Like if you want to be a mage tank or something like that, you can. It's all skill based, yeah. If you play monk, then you're the puller, yeah. Same thing with bard. I wish Guild Wars 2 is one that I enjoyed more, but definitely not my type of game. Anarchy Online, yeah. Yeah. Had a super rough launch back in the day. Meme. Mem leaks and crashes. RIP. Tunes with no head. For launch day, couldn't log in for hours. I feel like that's just a regular thing for games these days. Like instance content and skill point system is interesting. And then there's EverQuest, and we have a skill point system. It's called AAs. And you have like 70,000 of them these days. Meanwhile, the classic WoW Andes heads explode if they have more than 20 skill points to spend. What do I do with my 20 points? Came later, way after launch, yeah. Well, it was only, what, 2002? Like 3 years, 3 years after launch? I was very annoyed that I had to pay a separate fee if I wanted to play Lord of the Rings online. Yeah, that's pretty weird, Shifty. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was something you'd had to pay separate for. Kind of neat that EverQuest introduced the any class race same character name thing, though. Are you talking about personas? I feel like that was pretty much copy pasted from 7, or not 7, but 11 and 14. Just looked it up. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. I mean, it was something they wanted. They wanted it to be copied from those other games because a lot of games do it these days. I think WoW is the only old school game, for the most part, that's like still actively developed that hasn't done it yet. Still very cool to see in EverQuest. I 100% agree. We're in Smasher. That was one of the most unexpected things that when they announced it, that I had no idea what was coming. But I mean, whenever they started taking stuff like what's the word I'm looking for? First to encounter, like the first to encounter stuff from the Oakland server, which I think is super fucking cool. A lot of people shit all over it. They talked about how bad it was, and then suddenly, uh, we played it, and a lot of people fucking love it. And Oakland has been like one of the best servers. Yeah, much better than expected. Still blows me away to see you can run around and kill a bunch of raid bosses back to back because they're instants now. Yeah. Can you recap real quick what the Lorian song is about? Thank you. So far, Lorian's song seems like we're basically revisiting the greatest hits of some of Dead Heroes' best moments because it's all about the afterlife tunnel. Like we're going to the afterlife and we're reliving some of these heroes' greatest moments. Hey, what's up, Ding? How you doing? I don't know what the overarching story is aside from that yet, tunnel, but it's basically we're going to the afterlife and we're 100% just revisiting some of these heroes' greatest moments. I'm doing really good, man. We've had some really good streams the last couple of days. We hit some new content last night. So a trip to Valhalla than it is. Yeah, pretty much. You can think of it like that, yeah. So it's still technically planar content because we're going to the planes, we're going to a very specific afterlife, and we're seeing some old memories, basically. Yep, my rogue is 125 with max AAs. One class down, like 15 to go. They're very outdated, Tuma. Unfortunately, the last time those were updated was Ring of Scale. But I think part of the reason they haven't needed to be updated is because it's still pretty much the same pathway from like 1 to 110. I mean, you could literally level to 75 and then just do heroic missions and like gribbles and stuff like that until 100 or 105. And then after that, it's basically just following the expansion content and doing the partisans and the missions. I got a few tells. I was 125 2 hours after it went live. Jesus, dude. Do you solo the heroic missions? No. Because they're level, they stick to your level. So most of those, I would say you need like 3 or 4 characters and a couple mercenaries. Have room for an SK and a Naked Bard? Yeah, we absolutely do. What level are you, Wyatt? $66? Yeah, come on in. I really need to get my new pets and stuff. Karnor, 41 billion trains and growing. Yep. Man, I fucking love Karnor's Castle. One of these personas I re-level, we're gonna have to go there and spend some time there. Such a good zone. Farming the hands and the stuff in the background, trying to get the back of the castle, trying to get the Kunark pieces to drop. The Kunark clickies. Throwing daggers for the rogue bracers, or drones of Dune clicky for druids. Very empty on FE unless someone runs their specific items. Yeah, Karnor's Castle is almost always passed up. You know why, Power Walk? Because they never make it a hot zone. People are typically either leveling in hot zones or they're leveling in Serpent Spine stuff. We are up the Earth side right now. I think my SK is still parked in KC. Classic zone. My Bard and Beast are both logged into Passionate Thunder. Here, we'll start clearing out to the outside here so you can run to us. Hey. Welcome in, welcome in. I don't know how Elsewhere is handling the loot, but I think if you just want something, just roll need on it, unless he says otherwise. Slipper Slow, Gordo Valley. What, the song? It very well could have been. I'm greed on nearly everything, need on gems. Okay. I have Song of Storms as my phone's ringtone. Nice. Matter of fact, let's just do this. There we go. Hopebringer waiting for me at 65. Dude. Do you need a shield elsewhere? Elsewhere? Oh my god, elsewhere. I can't spell. I can't pronounce over here. If you need a shield, I'm pretty sure I've got a pretty good 65 shield for you. Third big fight in Florida versus CBJ. Oh. Sports. Sports ball. Woo! Shield of Strife, which I think you gave me. Okay, cool. Just making sure. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I have a Shield of Strife somewhere around here. Go sports. Do the thing. Score the points. It's funny, when I visited my buddy out in DC 2 years ago, around October, we went to some big baseball game, and it was like the only like sporting event I had been to in probably two decades, aside from playing in band, and it was insane. Being in DC, which I'm not accustomed to, I'm an Oklahoma City dude. Being in DC and going to a big sports game, which was, I think it was like a 50,000 person stadium or some shit like that, it's mind-boggling. And the biggest crowd reaction out of anybody, even through the game, was whenever one baseball player walked out onto the field, and I guess they played like Baby Shark song that I guess he's known for, and the entire crowd interacting with the song was like, what the fuck, am I like at a children's game right now? It just cracked me up. Like, why is everyone interacting with this stupid Baby Shark song? If I ever make the trip overseas and visit the US, I'm definitely going to attend both a baseball game and a football game just for the experience. Oh, have you never been to one? They're overrated. I'm just messing with you. As a non-sports ball person, they're overrated. The beer's too expensive. The food's too expensive. People smell. Sitting basically on top of each other at a game. One side of the field yelling at the other side of the field. "60 minutes of playtime attached to stretched out over 4 hours." Yeah. One side of the field yelling obscenities at the other side of the field. Not with the same crowd. That's fair, yeah. Baseball doesn't exist where I live. We have a field but no team. Aw. Baseball was the only sport that I actively played when I was younger, and it was fun. I played up until, I think, 6th grade. Coming from a sports fan, you have to like the sport, but then if you go, the atmosphere is amazing. That's fair, Gage. That's fair. I get if it's like the environment and stuff that you're paying for. I just don't like the idea of paying a ridiculous price to go somewhere where I'm smushed like a can of sardines around other people. The American sports aren't that big in Sweden, with hockey being the exception. So Power Walk, I'm assuming you're in Sweden? Definitely need a pregame before you go. Gotcha. Sweden is one of the few places in the world that I actively want to go out of my way to visit. Hockey is Canadian, you monster. Americans would tell you otherwise. Americans would definitely tell you otherwise. Metallica concert, there you go. You take that back right now, Power Walk. We are not the same. That's like comparing like hot dogs to pancakes. They're two completely different things. When you stop calling Sweden Switzerland, I'll take it back. Them's fighting words, yeah. I was thinking hockey, Americans do it better. Ooh. That's hilarious, though. America, Canada, same thing. Yeah, one has free healthcare. All right, let's go back up this way. As a Swede, I'm def more pro-Canada than pro-USA. Yeah. But to be fair, the field that I'm in, healthcare, if it was free, I wouldn't make any money. So, you know what? Go America. I'm pro EverQuest, same. I've never agreed with someone's statement more. Oh, I know, Crave, I know. Oh, here, I'm gonna run back out to my druid and my enchanter over here real quick to get buffs if you guys want to come. And get rebuffs out here. Still can't believe in 2023, almost 2024, still watching EverQuest content and still playing the game. Hey. Some of us just appreciate classic games more than anything. My biggest thing is if I wanted to play different video games, I clearly would, but I just don't feel like I get the same value from other video games like I do EverQuest. Not playing EverQuest at the minute, but watching is very fun. Yeah. There's plenty of other games I could play that I feel like I would have fun with, but like I said, I just don't get the same value that I do when I play EverQuest. I've tried playing other games, I'm still back here. Yeah. I only watch when Via's streaming. Well, thank you. I'm glad to scratch the addiction itch for you. I mostly play indie games that I can play for 30 minutes before work. Yep. Yep. EverQuest is hard to do in 30 minutes to make any progression. I don't know. I can go from 1 to 30 in 30 minutes. Or at level 120, you can get maybe 5% EXP in 30 minutes. There was another EverQuest streamer I watched as well, but he plays something else now. Still follow him though? Yeah. I level a druid enchanter duo. Am I going to run into a wall when you have to start doing missions to progress? Ooh. I don't know, Weasel. I want to say probably, but I mean, I guess it depends on kind of your skill level. You could probably blaze through stuff pretty well. Especially if you're using mercenaries, you would probably still be pretty well off. Oh. Well, that's some nice thorns. Just 6 box mages, yeah. Easy mode. 2 mercs. Yeah, you would probably be pretty well off then, Weasel. I think you wouldn't really have too much problem. Some EverQuest content hardcore people would say that the best way to play is optimal, which is like 2 enchanters, 2 mages, and... Or sorry, 3 enchanters, 2 mages, and a cleric. So that's clearly the best way to go. Because if you're not the first, then you're just not playing the game. Tried playing 3 boxes, but my skill level is not really enough to do that. Yeah, that's fair. It gets harder in the higher levels with all the buttons you gotta press anyways. It's a good class to boost to 85 and then you go back and do old school achievements and stuff to pass the time. Rogue. Because you could solo almost anything that you want to at that level. And you can also use Shroud of Stealth to explore zones, unlike any other class. Bard would probably be pretty decent as well. Just playing one at a time? Yeah, Tuma, same. Yeah, I think Rogue, probably one of the better ones for exploration and stuff like that. Because like I said, you can solo most things at that level. Man, Tuma, it really depends on the guild that you're in and the server that you're on. If you're playing on FV and you join like a guild like Emerald Alliance of Firiona V or Emerald Alliance Reborn, you'd probably have a better time. But even then, I'm sure it's still not perfect. Just found it easy boxing a bard with a song macro and just controlling my beast. Yeah. You're in Emerald Alliance and you still have issues? It's probably also a thing right now because of the expansion. There's probably a whole lot more people doing high-end content now than ever. Hey, Grat's on 65 elsewhere. Bust out that Hope Bringer. Hey, look at that Paladin. Look at that sexy-ass Paladin. Shield of Strife. Hope Bringer. You love to see it. Are Paladins any good today in EverQuest? Yeah, I would say they're still pretty good. They probably don't have as much of an advantage as Shadow Knights do. You want to play a Dwarf Beast now? You're welcome. You're welcome. Paladins, I still feel like they're pretty good. They're better off now in the higher levels than they were, from my understanding. Always wanted to play a gnome monk. Oh my god. Just call him Tiny Chop. It's like Karate Chop, but he's tiny. There you go. You're welcome. But I want the new dwarf model. So you just have a high-level enchanter give you the dwarf illusion, and you're good. Elsewhere, I would like to point it out, my evocation, conjuration, and alteration and abjuration are all over 200 now. You can be proud of me now, right? How the hell did you manage that? Because I'm awesome. And we've actually been taking this really slow. I've been casting on basically every single enemy. Slash proud, yep. Did you ever finish your Berserker that you were leveling with the throwing axes? We got, the first Berserker we got up to 75. The second one, I think we got to like mid-50s. I ended up getting really sick that weekend, so I signed out after we got to like mid-50s and I called it quits with that guy. But now, with my new Berserker, I'm going to get him to 121, and there's new throwing axes we're going to be able to use that are even higher damage. And we'll be able to do that on this persona for this guy. But no, the other one, the highest I got him to, was 75. It was hard for me to invest time and effort into characters past 75 when I knew I was just going to delete them. But with the alternate persona stuff now, that I can actually invest full time and effort into these guys, like one of my next classes I'm probably going to go through and play is a Necromancer on this guy, and I'm going to go through the Tower of Frozen Shadow. I'm really excited for that, because I'm actually keyed all the way up through Tower of Frozen Shadow, so I can go through and do that stuff solo, or with a group if I want. What's your impression of the alternate persona now? Is it relatively bug-free? No, it is definitely not bug-free. It's really cool, Jog, but I've been very fortunate that I haven't had more problems than I have. Like, Ominous was saying yesterday when he was playing, every time he switches persona, one of his rogue's bracers gets the augments thrown out every single time he changes. It throws the augments out of his bracer and puts it in his inventory every single time. So if you change personas, does your gear stay on your character? It does at first until you save a new gear set. And then eventually it'll just rotate the gear sets in and out of your inventory. I'll wait a patch or two first, I think. Yeah. It's probably not a bad idea to wait. Just to be 100% honest with you, it's really not a bad idea. But like earlier, Jog, whenever I was first starting to stream, whenever we were in our 50s, we went to Vexar. I pulled out my tank mercenary, and my tank mercenary had my level 125 thorns on. So we killed stuff really quick for like the first hour of stream because my tank mercenary had the level 125 thorns on. Yep, vice versa. It'll have to stay in your inventory, which means you're going to have to free up a lot of space if you're planning on leveling multiple personas. Either that or make sure you have very specific sets that are usable by like all casters and then all melees. No worries. I think they need to add an inventory window, management window for personas. Yeah, it needs to be something where they have their own separate bank space and everything as well. Which I'm surprised they didn't do that. What's the best merc I can use at 56? Any thought? Tank. Journeyman tank. Journeyman tank will carry you to 70. It'll slow down substantially after 75 because of how hard everything hits. But a journeyman tank, 100% from 1 to 70, the way to go. Yeah, it's definitely a lot slower. It gets better as you can rely on gear. But tanks become less and less effective the higher level you get. What about after 70? I mean, tank, like what Tuma said, it'll still be effective after 70, but you're going to have to try to find a way to get the gear for your mercenary to make it a little bit more effective. Otherwise, I would still stick with tank, depending on your class. If you're like a caster class with a pet, I would switch to healer at that point, because then your pet can tank, and then your healer can keep it alive, and you can DPS stuff down pretty easily. If you 2-box, run a tank and a healer, yeah. If you don't 2-box, I mean, I would switch to a healer if you're a pet class. Otherwise, eventually stuff is just going to start hitting way too hard and you're going to need a healer. Especially with like Serpent Spine plus stuff. By that point, EverQuest is balanced around the idea that you have a full set of like Defiant and or Raid gear and or max AAs. Everything becomes 1 to 65 is pretty much balanced with the idea that you have nothing in this game. That's why Defiant gear and everything makes you so overpowered. But with Serpent Spine and everything afterwards, it's balanced under the impression that you have full auto-grant AAs, full Defiant, or Raid gear. Turn on auto-grant? Yeah. Well, not everyone plays gold status. There are a lot of people who play just silver status, free to play. A lot of people still like to do like the actual AA grind and stuff themselves because like 1 to 70 is their favorite content. And I get it. Not my play style, but I can appreciate it. You need gold status to... Yeah, you do. You also need gold status to be able to use Agents of Change. You need gold status to be able to sell stuff in Bazaar. I believe you also need gold status to be able to start in any starting city aside from Crescent Reach. Easy to get overwhelmed by all the AAs if you go with auto grant. It can be easy, yeah. But once you play around with it, you'll get used to it. Agents of Change is the instancing, right? Yes. Agents of Change are only available from Classic through Gates of Discord. Everything after that, it's removed because basically everything is assumed to be instance content regardless. Don't need gold to start in Crescent Reach. I was saying you need gold to start in anywhere other than Crescent Reach. Sorry. Sorry if I misspoke. I meant to start in anywhere other than Crescent Reach. Otherwise, Crescent Reach is where... You're fine. Don't worry about it. Otherwise, it'll always start you in Crescent Reach. Because I know some people are fine with starting in Crescent Reach. I personally like to start in the old school zones. Like, anytime I make an XR, I like to start in Cabalus. Just because it's super nostalgic area for me. One of my favorite zones to start in. Like, honestly, starting in Cabalus and going through, like, Field of Bone, Kern's Tower, Lake of El Omen, Worslick's Woods, all those zones, it's super, super nostalgic. Speaking of, I need to do that in one of my next classes. Leveling in Kunark is one of my favorite things. I did it about 1.5 years ago on a warrior. I leveled a warrior strictly with Valius and Kunark gear all the way just through Kunark. Super fucking fun. Ixar Necro, there you go. Kunark is just so fucking fun to level through. Like, you can work your way like Kern's Tower, Lake of El Omen, move on over to Frontier Mountains, kill some giants, go to over there, kill some rhinos, chickens, make your way over through Nurga, old school nostalgia route, yeah. I really need to do that on one of my next personas. The only zone I think I'm not fond of when I think of Kunark is Skyfire Mountains. Skyfire Mountains can honestly just fucking burn in a fire. Really dislike that zone. The sperm monsters, the dispelling drakes. Yeah, it did suck, but it definitely where you got a lot of spells, yeah. Quad kind of those chroma drakes that dispel just to show off. Ugh. Gross. I remember when I started playing, I made a half-elf ranger and Fippy Darkpaw would wipe his ass with me constantly. Good old Fippy. Ooh, we got a named up too. Wait a second, is your bard just straight up naked? Do you need some stuff on your bard, man? I got weapons and gear right here. Mostly, oh, okay. Here, I'm gonna give you some gear. I'm pretty sure I've got, like, chestplate of fiery might, breastplate of integrity. Yeah, I've got some good stuff here. Here, I'm gonna give your bard some stuff. Um... Bar, there we go. Surely I got some other stuff here. Here, that one's also good. Yeah. A good drum. I don't think I have one of those, unfortunately. But it also clears out some of my bags, so... I kept looking over and I was like, why is that dude basically butt naked? Remember when you used to actually have twist songs on a bard? Remember people talking about it, the horror stories. Told you he was naked. I thought you were joking. When someone says naked, I'm like, haha, he's missing like 2 slots of items. I didn't know you were being serious. He's actually naked. Knew a lot of good bards back in the day. Twisted manually songs for 3 to 4 hours straight. Oh, so you had carpal tunnel. Is that what you're saying? Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. Listen, little Timmy, if you told me that you were actually naked. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 ad nauseum. Don't have to twist nowadays. No, you just melody. Slash melody 1 2 3 4 slash melody 1 2 3 4 5. Like I think at level 100, my bard is like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Still got room. Oh yeah, here. Sorry, dude. Text window was small. He's working on brass right now. He would be nice. Sorry, Ominous. I didn't see you there, man. I'm kind of small, easy to miss. Whatever. Real quality of life improvement, A. Oh, 100%. But like literally, you just have a hotkey, you slash melody 1 2 3 4, and it'll cycle through 1 2 3 4 over and over again. So you never have to keep like repeating. That's why bards are like one of the easiest classes to box these days. First line is stop song in the macro. Yeah, I always just slash melody, boom, bing, bang, boom, done. What is this? Do we actually have we have a full group of people here, guys? What? It's a miracle. Can use melody from the jump. Yeah, you can use melody from like level 1. The only way it'll mess it up is if you miss a note and you break the song, which of course will happen if you're, singing or percussion or brass or whatever. Someone will come by and report you for playing the game as intended. Cheating! He's cheating. This macro quest stuff has become so efficient that they're playing like 6 individual people. Sorry, 5 people and a merc. EverQuest working as intended since never. Oh, they actually did a little bit of damage to my mercenary that time. Maybe it's time to renew that 120 damage shield buff. I'd have to like switch over and all that good stuff. Although I don't feel bad for doing this now that you guys have people here and you can be okay without me. I'm going to teleport out real quick and go buy spells. If you guys want to keep on going. If one of y'all has a mercenary you want to bust out, I'm going to suspend mine, and then I'm going to teleport out and go buy spells. So here, I'll make you main assist. I feel really weak only using my like level 60 spells here in Bastion of Thunder, so we're going to buy some better stuff real quick. Just so he won't use them. You shut up, Day. I've got my spells up nice and used. The only thing I haven't really leveled is Divination. But who the fuck uses Divination on a Beast Lord? Know what I mean, Vern? Alright, Beast Lord. Spells. This way. $51 to $60. Here we go. Although I'm only going to buy some of the important ones. Just replay the same song. Come on, Spotify, you can do better than that. Hey, thanks for the follow, Phoenix. let me mem some of these spells real quick. I've read that it becomes difficult to level alternate personas at higher levels because most EXP comes from non-repeatable quests. Yeah. People are talking about like the heroic missions and stuff like that. Yes, you are right. It does become a little bit more difficult, but as long as you're willing to grind, it's really not that big of a deal. And honestly, a lot of people who are leveling, you know, that level plus, I'm sure wouldn't mind grinding the old school way. I can't imagine anybody actually really caring that much. But yes, it will be more difficult. Especially if you're so used to doing like the partisan quest, the heroic mission one-time completion requests, stuff like that. I mean, I don't see it being that big of a deal personally. Oh, here. Done. Shielding. Nice. We actually have some pretty good buffs now. One more level and our pet gets affected by buffs as well. Yeah. Our pet went from level 49 to 60. Nice. I'm assuming we still can't teleport to you guys. Campsite is in an area that cannot be teleported to. Okay. Classic EverQuest. We're on the way back. We'll be there soon. So I have better buffs. I have a better pet. Do we have a mage with us by chance? I don't think we do we? Because if we did, that would be really cool. Come on, pet. Where you at, buddy? Good old EverQuest pathing. Getting stuck on stairs. Oh shit. There's repops at the on the way in, so I'm gonna have to fight my way in to you guys. Which we can make pretty quick work of. Why is my pet taking aggro over me? Pet taunt is not even on. Good old EverQuest and pathing. Yep. That's a DPS monster for I guess so. I know his DPS was going to go up. I didn't think it was going to go up that much, though. Oh, Speed of Relic. Oh. Good to know. Aha, there y'all are. Well, we should be doing a whole lot more damage. Heh. Sorry, I kind of put a high damage DPS shield or a damage shield on to catch up to you guys. I guess it's working. Okay. No more exploding, at least for now. It's so nice. I have an instant cast poison now. Thought you would had to wait until higher level to be able to get such high damage shields. Nope. Not for the Druid AA. The Druid AA you can cast on level 1 character and it's 170,000 damage shield. The higher level version of it's like 240,000 damage. What is your my pet focus? It is Minion of Discord. It's the Gemstone of Dark Flame. The best one you can get. Yeah, Tuma. Yeah. It's kind of insane. A little bit of an oversight, if you ask me, but what do I know? Working as intended, always. Since day one. I need to pull out my EQ log parser here. Let's see how much better damage we're doing. A Gooper's 1000 AAs. Nice. I'm doing about 600 to 700 DPS as a Beast Lord at this level now. That is a fuckload better than ever before, thanks to Jan's Veal. Maybe I just got some lucky procs, because that time it was just like 200 something. I don't understand this game. Dude, elsewhere, you're doing some really good damage. That's really impressive for a paladin. Yeah, elsewhere, most of these fights, if I'm not on my A game, you're gonna beat me in damage. Trying to read up on paladins on live servers in the past couple of days. Mostly people aren't positive about them at the moment on forums. Are we talking like endgame, Jog? Song of the Storm Strike? I don't know. 120 and such? Gotcha. I think it's just because Shadow Knights in general are still just so god-awfully overpowered. People aren't positive about anything on forums, that's true. Yeah, but everyone would have that. But Shadow Knights are just so overpowered, comparatively speaking. Which is a shame. I was considering using the alternate persona on my old cleric, Private Paladin. I mean, you should still give it a try. Just because people on the forums aren't positive about it, it's because a lot of people who are talking are such mid-maxers who use DPS charts for everything. Like, you're still gonna have a good time. You can't let the classic EverQuester ruin your experience because they're saying that paladins aren't the top 1%. Yeah, like what Elsewhere said, some people just like them. I can't blame them. To be honest, I prefer the idea of paladins to Shadow Knights. like stunning, just be like knights of valor and stuff like that. I've always preferred the idea of like a knight to a shadow knight, personally. So plus the group heals is great. Yeah, the stuns more than anything, just insane. Cool aggro from healing everyone around you. Yeah. Divine stun being one of the first AAs. Yep. It's like, what, a half-second stun? Love the Paladins class play-wise having no real AoE snap besides the 2 AAs. It does suck for that case, yeah. I feel like the developers, like, one of them was a Shadow Knight and always favored them. You know what I mean? Ooh. Don't know what just happened there. Actually gonna have to pull the mount back out here. Loved Healing Light as an, wait. Oh, as in using an under level Divine Stun to chain spam AoE heals. Gotcha. Like, wait a second, what? This spot, every single time we come here, we always pull like 4 enemies. Why is my mount on my AoE list here? There we go. My mount kept appearing on my extended target list for some reason. At least I finally get to work on my meditate a little bit. And we finally hit 1,000 attack as well. Honestly, Power Walk, probably just to sound more, that's what I'm looking for, more roleplay-like. Instead of just saying an Earth Militus. So it's not wrong, yeah. It just sounds more American fantasy. Yeah, you know what I mean? An earth thief in Danish, for instance. Good to know. He's stealing my earth. You know what I didn't stop to grab, though? I didn't stop to grab any weapons. I'll have to see if I can pull some out of my banker. I'm so used to being on alts, I keep forgetting I'm on my main character, which means I can access, like, my own bank vault and Dragon's Horde, which I'm pretty sure is where I kept most of my Fabled stuff anyways. If you can, elsewhere, please, that'd be really nice. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Class, Beast Lord, 65. Oh, dude, look. I've got the Fabled two-hander. Nice. Rune-etched bamboo. Although I guess I could use Hammer of Crushing Waves as well in a different primary. Yeah, we're going to use... No, that's just level 65. That's not the Fabled one. We'll probably just use the Fabled two-hander instead. Armband of Withering Shadow. Sorry, guys, I'm just item shopping for a second. All that old world farming paying off? Yep. You are exactly right. This is where it really, really comes in handy. Ooh, pretty much nothing per head. Fabled collar. Yeah, this is where it really is. Fabled basalt. And just like that, we got basically a full set. Bedtime for me. All right, man. Have a good one. I appreciate you stopping by. Boom. We're done. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, Power. Have a good one, dude. I appreciate you. Sorry, guys. Doing just a little bit of upgrading here. Hooray, massive upgrades. Oh, nice. You got the Aegis of Midnight? Hell yeah. Nice. Okay. We got a better pet now, too. Ah, nice. My pet's 65 and even con to me. And he gets buffs. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Hey, we got round kick finally. And now we just got to work on our round kick and our 2 Hemblon here. Well, I am very happy with this. Thanks again for the banker, by the way, elsewhere. Yep. Alright, no worries. My poor two-hand blunt is so pathetic right now. Best race for new rogue? Oh man, Shifty, that's a rough one. Because part of me wants to always say Barbarian, because that was my old school rogue, was a Barbarian rogue back in the day. But, man, that is rough. Because a lot of people will disagree with me because of how much they hate them, but I really like Draken. I think Drakens look really cool. They're kind of derpy the way they swing their arms, but I think they look the best. But I would say Barbarian. I would say Ixar if that could be a real thing, but you have to rely on illusions. Does everyone here who's 65 have an overhaste clicky? If you do not, let me know. I'm going to pass this ring around so you can click it. It's a permanent 8% overhaste. It'll stack with everything you have. It goes for... Okay, here. Come here in just a second after this is dead. If you just want to click it and then give me the ring back. Because, like I said, the clicky, it's permanent for you. Once you unlock that AA, you permanently have that 8% boost. Once the corpse goes away. Just click that. Do you want this for any of your characters? I think he said he was AFK, taking the bard out. Once he's back, if he needs it, I'll hook him up. Oh yeah, he's on auto-follow. But yeah, it's really good, because like I said, it's a permanent 8% haste. I was going to say, we could probably get rid of the mercenary now. We probably don't need a mercenary anymore. But if you want to keep him out, I'm down. That way it's just one less split for the group. Even more EXP. Gnome is always the right answer. I don't know, man. Sure, if you're playing football and you need a football. Know what I mean? Then Gnome would probably be good. Death from below. think gnome is the right answer if you're a mere mortal that doesn't have a warehouse of gnome masks. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never had a gnome mask before. Nope. Never heard of it. Where's it even come from? No master, just an expression of racial envy. Nice. Nice, Jog. Once everyone's down by my druid and my enchanter, I'm gonna hook everybody up with level 100 buffs. The best crack and haste and damage shield and HP buff we can get. For all the illusion clickies, you have a rogue thing, or can anyone use them? Most of them are anybody. Most of them can be used by any class. Except for all the old school ones. Like the Gnome Mask, Ixar, Erudite, Half-Elf, stuff like that. All the old world drops, those are still Bard and Rogue only. But all the new ones, like the Fourth Gate Guardian, Orc, and stuff like that, those are all. I spent a full month of my life farming the Halfling Illusion Mask and Chardock. Yep. I spent a ridiculous amount of time farming the Bashir back in the day as well. It's been a really good spot for farming though, guys. I mean, between Vexar and everything, we've gone from 1 to 65 here now. Not 1, sorry, 51 to 65. Got 7 levels today, amazing EXP. Yeah, this has been really solid. Plane of Fire next. That would be like the next logical spot to go, so very well could be. Maybe the level 70 hot zone, depending on what it is. It feels so weird, because normally I feel like I would like be winding down and ready to start like deleting this character so I can make the next one. But since we have this is literally my main, there's no point. Okay, if everyone kind of sticks to right here where we're at, I'm gonna drop some buffs on us. Got the good HP regeneration, good mana regeneration, now good haste, good damage shield. Nice. 1300 attack power at level 65. Yeah, I think we'll be okay now. Mm, 800 HP regeneration per tick. It's more than these guys can dish out. Okay. My pet's starting to take aggro from me and everything too. I guess it helps if I turn attack on, usually. I think the Fable two-hander was the play here. That was definitely the play. Especially with the augment on it. Yeah, we're having no problem putting out some really big numbers. Come on, stop stunning. And not to mention my pet is now perfectly capable of tanking a Krieger here now, thanks to Minion of Discord. Well, I think in the next couple of kills, I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Call it quits so I can get ready for the week. Oh, the countdown to the week-long vacation begins. Just got 2 weeks left. Sorry, ominous. Yep, the good old countdown of the week. Spend what little bit of daylight I have, go get some exercise in. Yeah, for sure, man. It's been really good. I think everyone got some pretty good progress today. So I'm happy with it. I think we all got some really good levels. I got from 51 to 65, so Beast Lord's moving right along. We're at the point where soloing and moloing is just going to get that much easier for Beast Lord now. We'll kill this next Krieger right up here, and then I'll call it quits for now. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me. If y'all want to keep on going, I can make one of y'all leader. Here we go. I'll make you leader, Ominous, if y'all want to keep on going along. But that is gonna be it for me for now. W stream, thanks. Hell yeah, Weasel. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for joining us elsewhere. Whoever else all ended up joining here, I appreciate y'all. Ominous. I hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend. I'm gonna hop off, get some cleaning, get